Hello and welcome to our brand new podcast, The Great Italian Escape. It's the first episode. I'm Carolina, this is Felix, my husband. And this podcast is about us. It's about our family and about the fact that we're leaving everything behind and starting a new life abroad. And what's it all about, why and how we're doing this? You can follow around and listen to our podcast and see this. It's, I think, basically for all of those people who are wondering if there's more in life and or are also thinking about maybe twisting a little bit their lives. And that's basically our story now. And I thought we'd start by explaining or talking about how, what's the status right now. So where we are at in Germany, where we're from, what we've done already, so that people can kind of relate where we're coming from.
Well, I think it's a very long story, and I'm always making stories very long. I think like we both took a route to pursue a career that feels like us, something that where we don't have to divide between our personal life and work, just to figure out that this career created the opposite of that. It created like a kind of a career and then a life that we had to pursue, which were about our passions. And so we are working in corporate. I'm working in corporate right now. You worked in corporate until recently. But we are quitting it, both. Yeah.
And maybe also the fact about that I'm quite frankly already somebody who already moved from another country. I was born in Poland and moved with my parents to Germany when I was little, like a year old. So I already always felt foreign, or like not that this is my forever place in Germany, but also that we found each other in Hamburg, but then we had a long distance relationship for 2 years until we decided very quickly that we are moving abroad for your studies. So we lived in Italy and in Finland for 2 years, and then COVID hit and we tried to circle our life around Germany and most recently Hamburg. Yes. And that's what we did the past 4 years. Yeah. And that's basically what we are. And we have a little child. He's 3, and I think it's like the biggest reason we're doing all of this.
Yes, part of it. Yeah. Also, just to get back to like where we felt comfortable and where we felt best in our lives.
Most ourselves.
Yeah. Yes.
So what can you do you remember one trigger moment when we were like, wow, this is not working for us here in Germany. This is not working. This life that we created, coming back from abroad, living in Germany, moving to Hamburg finally after other cities, like what was for you the moment?
I mean, like we got a child and it was fabulous, but it was also very tiring and was not easy for us to adjust. And then from my colleagues at work, we received a big package, care package from Fattoria Laviala.
Mm-hmm. So
which
an
is
Italian,
like an Italian place where they are doing biological farming and so on, and
we got the pasta and the wine,
and we got the pasta and the wine in a box filled with straw.
Yeah,
and I mean, we've been living before in Italy, and then we got this, and we thought, what are we doing here?
Why it's just a box? Why is this our life?
So like why are we in Germany? And yes, I think that was the most triggering moment, but we didn't feel able at all to to make a move at that point in life, I think.
I think he was like 3 months old.
Yeah, and we felt very stuck.
And we just moved into this apartment.
Yeah.
And that's maybe basically also something that's maybe also very relatable. We met, and the first thing that we told each other is that we want to finally settle.
Yes.
And that's why we kind of
Even
can't
before we got together.
And that's why we kind of can't do this long distance relationship, is because we want to finally settle.
Yes.
Because before we met each other also were lingering around, and we also in this now 9 years of relationship were always trying to settle. Like the years abroad, we were always thinking about, when we're back in Germany or when we're back wherever, when we're having a family, we want to settle, we want to have a big kitchen and a couch and like all the other things, right?
Yeah, just to figure out that this kind of settling physically is still maybe at some point what we're going to do and we want to do.
And what we need.
But we found out now that it's actually not that what matters. The thing is, like, we were always searching for that kind of life to settle on. And I think this is like the biggest reason why we are doing it now. So like, because we feel that this settling has to do with what we are doing, with like that we just pursue our passion rather than a career and a kind of life.
So like maybe you can explain like what's the plan?
So the plan is that we both leave our jobs and we are going to Sardinia for 6 months. And after that, we will see if everything worked out. But I mean, we have a very definite plan. We don't have a plan B. So this is like our direction we are moving. And we want just like to rely on our personal talents and passion. And I think so. You already started creating content. We both love vintage fashion, maybe like you see. And so you are like creating content around vintage fashion, and also like we have this dream to make clothing at some point, but not right now for sure, because we don't have that much money. So you think, okay, like first go online. Yeah, and on my side, like over the past couple of years, we always did some kind of bold moves, even though we ended up here in Hamburg with our careers and so on. But corporate. Like, very corporate. But already during that journey, we made bold decisions. You were in New York. We moved to Milan and Helsinki together and all that stuff.
And we also were never afraid to quit things, right?
No.
Although they were rolling great.
Yeah.
No,
they mostly were rolling very great, but we had some other idea which were even better. So
that's a pattern.
That's a pattern, and so from that, I think I know a lot about like how to start over. Also, my practical background is design, and so with that background, now I had been an innovation manager and learned like how to launch products, also how to launch businesses, and I want to help people, single individuals like we are, to launch their kind of dream, because I learned from all that corporate world that it's not that difficult. It's difficult in a corporate environment, but it's kind of easy in the personal one. So I want to help people with that, and you will follow the content creation journey.
And maybe also with the big picture, like the plan is, like we feel Italy is our place to be, but we're not sure if it's Sardinia or maybe Florence or something else. So we're going to figure this out by just trying out Sardinia for the next 7 months.
Yes.
And also a big why or reason why we're doing this is because we kind of want to just not be employed somewhere, but be self-employed and just do what our passions are. Like our vision is to work with friends who are in film, who are in, I don't know, design, who are also creating things where we can collaborate, and just like, it's not about living on an island in Italy and like eating gelato. Like it's part of, that's the good part, but I know ourselves. We are rather working too much than not enough,
Yes.
always.
Yes.
So it's the plan to have, like, the biggest wish is to have a peace of mind and like no FOMO,
Yeah.
and the hope to have a better work-life balance than it's right now, because right now we have to say our child is a lot at childcare, which is completely normal for people who are at the corporate world and in the Western world. But for me, I kind of feel it feels strange to me.
Now,
Now,
after giving birth.
Yes. Before we were totally planning to have him there for 10 hours
Yeah.
or 9. Now I feel like I don't want this anymore.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing, just to celebrate these childhood years with him before he has to go to school. That's one thing. The other thing is just to not be in this cold and rainy environment, and also like this cold and rainy like people environment.
Yes.
And the third thing is that we feel like at the same time, which was firstly not the plan, but we at the same time want to chase our business self-employed dreams, right?
Yes.
Because first we were planning on that you will still remain at the corporate job that you're having at the design
Making
innovation, making money so that I can start new. But now we decided that we're just gonna spend all our savings and hope that this flies until savings are over.
Right. Yeah. In like 12 to 24 months.
Yes. So
Yes.
it's kind of the plan to make money in 12 months out of what we're creating, and being able to save in about 3 years back.
Yeah, something
2
like
or
that.
3 years. Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe now is people are thinking, are they crazy? We are also having fears and doubts and everything. Can you maybe talk about this
Yes.
a bit?
I mean, like doing that complete move, like leaving all our corporate money and like starting with no working business model right now. This is definitely like the boldest part of all, but that's probably not what we are fearing the most, because I think we did changes before, and we learned that if you just go do things, like if you study, you finish. If you start working in that company, you will grow, and so on. Like, so that's not the part. Like, but for sure, for real, like on a like nervous system basis, this is definitely a fear, but not on a rational perspective. But I think it's not so much about fear, but we're definitely like leaving our families, which already have not been living in this place we are living now, not in Hamburg, but they were more close by. I had a brother here in Hamburg, and on the other hand, we have a great like place for Fiorello, where he is when we have to work, and we won't have that in Sardinia anymore. And I think this will be more challenging. Yeah.
Yeah,
So what
I think
about
it's
you?
the biggest wish to have him all around.
Yeah.
But it's also for me the biggest kind of fear that it's like it's not hand manageable with everything that we've planned on working.
Yeah.
But we also know that we will have to find a babysitter very soon. But it's not the plan to have this babysitter 9 to 5 again.
No,
it's
right.
rather maybe for 3 days, 4 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
So that there's a time to do really things that we need to do both simultaneously. But the plan is to take turns, right? So that you're having the day with him on Monday, and then we change on Tuesday, and so on.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that we haven't spoke about right now, like you got sick like 2 years ago,
Too.
and like we are still struggling somehow with it. So this is a point where also like with this caring for the child and then working
Plus the
with this condition is like I believe it will work right out, but I think this is the most unpredictable.
Exactly. That's for
aspect.
me too. It's for me also the fact that my health is not reliable. Plus, we have to rely on ourselves business-wise and family-wise because we don't have somebody anymore.
Yes.
But I totally feel that we need to have not only the babysitter, but also a plan if I'm gonna be sick for a longer time,
Yes.
so that we maybe can have babysitter for more hours or something else figured out, just to have a backup plan.
Yes.
I think that's what we need. And yeah, for me, it's also the fact that we never really relied on ourselves. We always were applying for corporate jobs, applying. I remember myself being in Italy and applying until I figured out this. I'm running out of time.
Yes.
I'm just enjoying the last 3 months here.
Yes.
But the fact that we're not applying anymore, but relying on ourselves, is for me crazy. But also the biggest dream I ever had.
Yes.
If I'm honest to myself.
Yes.
So yeah. I've heard lately the sentence: if you don't fear the things that you've planned, the dreams are not big enough.
Yeah, I think that's very true.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, like we've been talking about fears right now, but I think we have never felt so much in the right place ever before in our lives. Just part of it in Italy when we already have been there.
Yeah.
And the first time we met when we just knew each other for a couple of weeks, and we decided to go to Cuba for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So
which was the best travel of our lives.
Travel and decision of our lives. So we are very excited.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah, so I think next chapter will be that we're gonna talk to you about all the logistics, so the paperwork and the panic that we're gonna have with all the boxes that we're surrounded at right
already,
now.
Yes.
So that's gonna be the next episode. And thank you for listening. If you feel related to this, we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment, subscribe, and just and connect with us, or just leave us a message on Instagram, because we'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to connect over this dream of ours. And we hope that you like this and you will tune into our next episode. So for now, this is thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.